morning. This is James with Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV in Georgetown, Kentucky. Wanted to do a walk around on the 2026 Valencia 39RB, show you some of the new changes that came to the 2026 model, and just give you an overview of what all this coach entails. So if you would like to follow along, let's get into it. We'll start the walk around on this unit on the outside. Like I said, this is the Valencia 39RB. The color scheme on this one is luminance, and I'll just do a typical walk around like we would do with a customer if they were coming in to purchase this unit. So we'll start here at the engine. This comes with the Cummins B6.7 engine. In probably the past 10 years, they've gone to like the translucent different housings for your fluid, such as your power steering so you can see where you are, and also on your fuel water separator so you'll be able to see if there's actually any water in the bottom there, so you'll be able to drain it. This engine looks pretty clean. I know a lot of people are very detailed on what they like their engines to look like. I just recommend that if it does get dirty and you're wanting to clean it up, actually have somebody wipe it down, or you wipe it down yourself. You don't want to pressure wash this area, as all of your main fuses and electronics such as the ECM and the stuff that powers the engine is all in this area. On this side you also see you got your coolant reservoir, your air filter, and your air filter minder down here that'll tell you when your air filter needs to be replaced or cleaned out. You can check that. And you also have your windshield washer fluid here. And here's kind of just like an overview of the engine area and the cooling package. And we'll start walking down the outside of the coach here. In the first compartment here, everything on the passenger side or camp side is usually going to be storage on these units. Kind of give you a better setup when you get there to the camp spot. And here you have your Xantrex inverter and your solar charge controller. And then you'll see here, this is all storage in this area besides those two components. Moving on down, you have another storage compartment area, and this one's a little bit longer in length and has kind of like a pass through to the other storage side. Another thing that they've added on the 2026 is motion sensing lights. So as long as you have the cargo lights turned on your Firefly system, when you open these compartments, they'll turn on. That way you're not trying to find a button when you're setting up camping at night or have to come get something out of the storage area. You also have a receptacle in here so you can plug up any, outdoor components you would want to have outside. If you do need to run an extension cord to anything to get it power. You also have your slide locks in here and an air hose to be able to air up any kind of things like tire pressure or pool toys. If you're going somewhere that the campground has a pool, you'll be able to use that. I have read some people saying that there is an issue with how much air gets put out to this line to air up tires. I haven't actually tried it myself, so maybe that's something we can get into at a later date. Continuing walking down through here, like I said, there's a pass through to the other storage compartment here, so you can fit longer items such as a fold-out table or some of the bigger chairs that people have. You'll be able to fit that through here with a little bit more accessibility. More storage. You got your LP Quick Connect here for any outside grill that you would want to be able to hook up. So you can hook that in here and be able to push propane to any kind of grill accessory that you have, whether it's Blackstone or your traditional grill. This one's a little bit longer storage compartment as well, so it kind of opens it up for longer storage and being able to have bigger items that you can carry with you on your journeys. Add more to the storage here. You see And another thing that they've added on these is now there is a bathroom window. So you'll have a little bit more sunlight coming in the rear bath and be able to add fresh air if you are wanting to get a nice breeze coming through there. Moving around the back of the coach here. Get to the power real bay. If you're familiar with the Renegades or you're not, you have a manual pull out, but when you're retracting it in, you have an automatic one, so you can sit here and guide the line back in and not have to worry about trying to roll it back up on the spool here. You have your RV surge protector there as a transfer switch as well. I'd recommend still adding a surge protector at the actual pole when you're plugged up at a campground. Kind of gives you a backup that if you do get a surge, you're actually hitting that surge protector first instead of this one. If you were to blow this one, it is all internal, so it would have to be replaced. You wouldn't be able to replace components on the inside. More than likely that whole thing is going to have to be replaced. You also have another receptacle unit in here, GFCI. If you have any of the GFCIs that are tripped, you'll have to go around and check each one to make sure that you are getting voltage through one, because they will all just kind of disconnect. Cummins Onan generator. And in recent years, I really like this aspect of it. They've added the storage compartment box for your sewage pipe, so that way you're not letting it flap around in your wet bay container and have any kind of seepage in there in the wet bay area. It's kind of a nice little add-on as to where they added it there with the extra space instead of just leaving it in the wet bay where it previously was. Here's your wet bay. You got your spray away hose here, black and gray dump valves there to pull out to dump. Be able to change your water usage from either city water or tank fill. So you just flip that down, hook up a line, and it'll start pumping water into your tanks underneath your bed to fill those up. But also if you're hooked up at a campground or at your home or anywhere else, you move it up to city water and it'll roll up off of there. Your hose for filling up the tanks or hooking up to fresh water or city water is here. It's kind of like the power cord. It's a manual pull out, but then you have a retract button here that'll automatically pull it in. That way you're not having to worry about pulling lines back in. You got your water filter here. We do not put filters in when we get units here. We filter fresh from the source outside. That way when you come and pick up a unit, or a customer comes and picks up a unit, they know that they're getting a fresh filter in there and we haven't pumped anything through it. Your black tank is here. You can tell this is the black tank as the sensors for the toilets are out here. You have your 50 and 100. You'll be able to, like I said, tell this is the black tank because of those sensors inside on the toilet. You got your black tank or gray tank dump there to hook up your sewage line for dumping. Gray tank. Here's your gas hookup here. Your propane tank here for filling up propane. You get a quick connection there so you can fill up at a Tractor Supply or Southern States or anywhere that would be able to fill up your propane. There's where your access tank is to there. When we order stock units here, we go ahead and usually do the lithium upgrade. It's got 300 amp hours here, and we also added 3 solar panels to the top of this unit to add chargeability and recharge battery systems, and then you have your chassis batteries here. When I showed you the airline earlier in the other storage compartment, your hookup for your airline is going to be right there to hook your chuck in to be able to air up any of the outside units that you have. That's kind of an overview of the battery system there. That was a quick walk around on the outside. We'll move to the inside and give you some of the more updates that they have there. Before we head inside inside the Valencia, I forgot to touch on the outside entertainment system here. You have a TV and sound bar. The TV is on a strong pull-out magnet, so you are able to pull that out and swivel it. In the past, when I was working in the service department, I did not know that pulled out, and the customer showed me, and it's always been like that. A lot of people thought that it wouldn't be able to pull out, but you can pull that out and swivel based on where you got your chairs set up or your outside entertainment. We'll walk inside the coach here. One of the things that they've added to kind of give it more elegant look here is this little railing here. Gives it a little bit nicer look. As soon as you come in the coach area, here on the wall, you'll have your battery disconnect here with an on-off switch. You can slide it up and down if you are storing it, or you're not going to be in the coach for a little while and you want to preserve the batteries. You can turn them off, so you cut all the electric into the inside of the coach. And you also have one near the driver's seat too to cut off chassis batteries. Here you have the entry step override that you can click on and off to keep the steps from going in and out when you're opening up the door to the coach. And an e-start, if you have any kind of batteries run down on either the chassis side or the house side, this button will draw power from whatever one has more power and connect the batteries. That way you can get some power to the inside of the coach to get everything back up, or if you realize your chassis batteries are dead after camping for a long weekend or a long trip, you can use that e-start to click over so you are able to start the chassis side of everything. This does have the cab over bunk option that you can see here, that you can slide that out and make an extra bed up there for kids, grandkids, relatives, or friends that have come in to stay with you. You got the cab over bunk with a retractable shade too there that you're able to close and open if you want light or want to close for during the day to keep some of the heat out. Does have the cab over bunk TV as well here that you can see there. You have a control panel here for lights, retracting in the bunk shade or extending it. Floor accent lights if you have somebody sleeping up here and they need to get out in the middle of the night. And you also have a receptacle with a USB and a C charger there for some of the new phone charging capabilities or tablets. So we move to the inside here. You'll see on the 39RB, this is a big change that they added on the 2026 model. It now comes in a triple slide. So this opens up so much more room on the interior of the coach, giving you more room on the house portion of it, so that you have all the extra room and you don't feel as confined as you would in the other models. So this is a big change that they made. We've also added an option here for the theater seating instead of a couch being there. That way you have a little bit more comfort, can kick out and relax. These also come with heat and massage features here, and also the lights to light up there as well. And you got your extending for putting out the recliner or putting it back in. Have a storage compartment in the middle for controllers or to hide the snacks there if you're like me and like to snack late at night right before bed. And you have a USB and C charge plug in there inside there as well. On the wall here you also have a receptacle with the USB and C charger. Kitchenette here. This does fold down into a push down, fold this out into another bed, so you can push those down there and be able to make that into a bed. Couch has storage compartments underneath here. This is where to make this into a bed will be, but if you don't plan on making that into a bed, you can remove those and use this as extra storage for any of the stuff you travel with. Another receptacle at the kitchen and dinette booth with your cup holders there. Another control panel for lighting. Anything you see with an up and down arrow on there is going to be a dimmable light, so you can, if you're having a movie night, you can kind of dim the lights in here, or if you're having a romantic dinner, you can take the lights down some and kind of set the mood. Your TV is here with a sound bar as well. That kind of cord you see going down there, that's to pull out and unlock the TV so you can rotate it so people can see a little bit better once you're there, and also locks it for travel so it's not swinging around while you're traveling. You got your Samsung residential fridge, travel lock here. You can push that over while you're traveling to keep them from opening. Freezer compartment. And the refrigerator area as well. Stovetop is here to click on for your gas, to be able to cook, microwave, and some pull-out drawers. One of the other changes that they've made on the 2026 model is they've changed the interior handles and also the sink here to a matte black finish on the sink, and gives you the gold accents on all of the storage area, your drawers. Another option, not option, but a new thing that they've added that I thought was pretty cool on some of these models. Down here in this drawer, you have a place to store your actual covers for your stovetop and your sink, instead of having to find an area just to store them while you're actually out camping or enjoying a vacation. You now have a storage area down here to store those, so you're not trying to find some random place to put them. In this drawer here is where, if you're picking up this coach for the first time, is where you're going to find your water filter, your controllers for the TVs, touch-up paint, and tools for fixing some of the awning issues if you need to change how far it goes out or how far it comes in. You got tools there to change that as well. Receptacle above the kitchen area and the backsplash. I think they're doing a really nice job on the new backsplashes that they're adding inside here and giving it a more classier feel on the inside to the Valencias. Above here is where you will find your owner's manuals for your Freightliner, and also your owner's manual for a Renegade that will go through some of your basic things like all your appliances in here, all the books for all your appliances or anything regarding this coach will be in here. Serial numbers for appliances, key codes, paint codes, and like I said, an owner's manual from Renegade giving you basic troubleshooting tips and also stuff they recommend, like making sure leveling jacks are down before you put out any of the slides, and basic information. On this wall here, you'll find your Firefly system that controls everything on the coach. If you go to the home screen here, you'll have a master on and off light switch that you can turn off all the lights or turn them all on. It'll show you the degrees of the inside of the coach here, front and rear. your fresh tank, your gray tank, your black tank, and your LP on the Valencia, showing you the levels they are now. You'll be able to turn on and off the water pump, turn on your tank heaters, show you where the house battery is right now, generator start and stop, whether your AGS is disabled or enabled, your auto gen start. Go over to the light option here. This will be able to help you turn on and off all the lights in the coach. So you have everything in the main part, the exterior such as your porch, your awning, and your cargo lights. Like I discussed, the motion sense cargo lights on the outside, if that is on, it'll work as a motion sense. So if you are setting up at night or need to go outside to get something, those will come on and off automatically. Your bedroom for your ceiling and the reading lights, and a control between the mid and the rear bath on lights in the bath. Here's your electrical screen showing your power source and where your power is coming from right now, what's charging, what's not charging. Your AGS or auto gen start settings are here. If you want to control it to where your battery capacity gets to a certain load and then the generator kicks on, you can set that up here. Or as far as your quiet times, if you're at a campground that has certain times where they don't want you to start, you can set those to where it will start or stop at certain times and how long it runs. Your climate control options are here. You got your cooling, your heat pump, your furnace, and whether it's on auto. You also have your AquaGo here for your water heater and turning that on, and you can control front and rear. So if you want different settings on whether you're like myself and my wife that like to sleep really cold at night and keep the front of the house set at a different temp, you can do that there. With the fan option here, that's be able to control the vents for in the bathroom area, to be able to open up the vents to get circulation in there. Here's your slides and awnings. You can extend and retract not only the slides but the awning here and get to your leveling system. I know a lot of people are familiar with slides, but a cool thing that they do here is they color code it to what area you're in. That way, if you're wanting to open up the main house slides or your bedroom slide, they're all color coded to what area it operates. That way, if you're new to it or you're just in a hurry, you kind of know exactly where you're trying to go. On your settings here, you can download the mobile app and be able to control any setting that you are able to control off the Firefly system here. You can control it by a mobile app on your phone. That way, if you're setting up at a campground and you're kind of worried about how far the the slides go out, if you have enough space, you'll be able to open that while outside and looking at it to be able to make sure you're not getting close to anything. You also have how you can change your temperature units, your floor plan, screen brightness, auto dimming. If you turn that on, this touch panel will dim down and shut off. That way it's not running all the time. Cleaning mode, if you hit that, that just gives the timeout on the screen a little bit of time so you can wipe it down for finger smudges or any kind of, if you're just doing a cleaning of the inside of the coach. Here you'll have your GUI version and your LC version. If you're calling Firefly about any kind of issues on the inside with the touch panel or any kind of communication issues, they'll ask you for that. That way they can make sure you're on the right version setting for those. You got storage areas here for clothes. Got a nice little cabinet here, or it could work as a pantry area for you since it is inside of close to the house and kitchen area. Pull out drawers here as well. And I like they've added here on this area where you can get to all your fuses and breakers, and an access panel to get behind here for water shutoffs for like the washer and dryer. If you do have issues, this thing just pops out and you're able to get access behind there. This here shows your main electrical setup for the brains of the Firefly system, the G12 control panel. We'll move back here to the washer and dryer setup. Typically when we order a unit we're going to keep in stock and try to sell, we always add the washer and dryer in here. Mid half bath here, they've started adding accented tile into the bathrooms on the Valencia to give it, like I said, in the kitchen, a nice feel to the inside, give it that extra custom. You have a medicine cabinet above here, and another storage cabinet, and then a storage cabinet above the toilet area as well. Is a macerator toilet. There are your controls for the macerator. You got your eco, your normal flush, and empty if you are traveling, your light, and whether it'll tell you if the tank's full. More storage underneath the sink. On this control panel, you'll be able to control all the lights in the bathroom, plus the bedroom ceiling, the fan speed, and turning on the water pump. That way you don't have to go to a screen. If you are in the bathroom trying to get ready or using the bathroom, you can turn the water pump on there. That way you can start circulating water. Master bedroom here. Above the bed, you have your reading lights up there that you can turn on. They're kind of bright. You got your nighttime, or see your reading light there, excuse me. Above the bed you have more storage. You can't really see it, but there is another receptacle back there for CPAP machines or whatever you need to plug up at night, or extra charging capabilities. You have receptacles next to the bed as well for charging phones or CPAP machines on both sides of the bed. A little storage compartment area there. Here's the main part of the master bedroom here. Your TV, emergency exit window, and a ton of closet space and storage for clothes back here as well. The drawer that has the glass there, that's where you would put a DVD player, a DirecTV receiver, or anything that actually is controlled by a controller, so it can get the signal through to the proper component to be able to turn it on, off, change channels, all the good stuff. We'll walk back here to the master bathroom. You have your shower, like I said, in the front. They've changed all of the water fixtures to a matte black finish instead of the silver that are the older colors that they had. Gives it a little bit nicer look in my opinion. Travel lock for the door. These doors are on a very strong magnet. A lot of people have a hard time opening them, but you'll just pull apart there, and this is a very strong magnet that runs down through here. Master bathroom in the back. Touch base on it outside, but they've added a window into the bathroom now too. That way you can get ventilation or a little bit more sunlight in here. And a towel hook there as well. Another open for a medicine cabinet. Some more storage back here as well for another medicine cabinet, or to store extra toothpaste, toilet paper, whatever you would need in the master bathroom. Back here in the master bedroom, you have another Firefly control panel as well to control anything in the coach like we touched on in the living room area. All the windows come with a pull down sunshade and a pull down privacy shade as well. Emergency exit window like we touched on, and the TV in here as well has another pull down cord to kind of pull it out and angle it in whatever direction you would need to angle it in. Another overview of the house portion here. Touch base again on the cab over bunk. You have your retractable ladder here as well to gain access, so this just pulls out into a bed. Go to the cab portion here. In the past couple years they have changed up the cab due to Freightliner making some changes to the cab. It's made it a little bit more driver friendly. As you can see here, we have another panel for your smart level and putting down the leveling jacks. You can control it here or by the Firefly system. Hazard lights, footwell lights, traction control, suspension dump, and a fast idle. Flipping on the docking lights here, you have some lights on the rear of the coach. If you're backing into a spot at night, you can turn those on to give you a little bit better visibility while backing in. And a USB charger there. They've also taken the rear view and the side view cameras out of the Garmin system here and added a dedicated monitor up at the top where you would have a rear view mirror to give you a little bit. That way if you're traveling down the road using the GPS, you turn on a turn signal, it's not taking away your GPS here so you miss your turn or miss an exit on the interstate. It's now up here on a dedicated monitor so that you can get a little bit better accessibility and be able to view it better. They've also taken the shift panel out of the dash and made it into a stock shift here with your drive, neutral, and reverse. You can control engine brake by pulling down on this one. It'll initiate the engine brake. That way it gives you a little bit more stopping and you're not putting as much pressure on the brake system, the rotors, or the brake drums. And they now have, in previous models with the other older Freightliner dashes, the window controls, door locks, and everything would be down here in the dash. So now it's giving the passenger the option to roll down the windows or lock the doors on their side. Instead of the driver controlling everything, it gives the passenger a little bit more comfort. And that's the inside of the coach. Thanks for following along with me today. Like I said, my name is James with Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV in Georgetown, Kentucky. We're a family-owned dealership. I've worked here for 10 years and I love working here. I highly enjoy my job. So if you have any questions or want more information on the coach or just want to chat, feel free to reach out to myself or any part of the sales team. We'd be happy to help you out, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.